Very good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. We have made some changes in the YouTube. Effective today, all the links would be provided in the description box of the YouTube. But somehow YouTube is giving us a limit of 5,000 words. Henceforth, there are many things which we shared as a link of the PDF. So once you go to the description box, you will get a PDF link and rest other links. You can choose whichever link you wanted to open. And in this PDF, more links are provided because there is a limitation of 5,000 words. Apart from that, if you have any questions covering our video trainings, audio trainings, TRFX Academy, stock valuation desk, MTM desk, foreign exchange desk, CTRM, commodity management, commodities training courses, and any other thing, do WhatsApp 9818485155. I repeat, 9818485155. Majority of the people knew that I worked as a corporate treasurer for 10 years. I dealt with many banks, and during corporate treasurer, I always love to impart trainings. I always believe that we are living in a world of fake knowledge. We are chasing certifications, degrees, online certificates, and unfortunately or fortunately, this COVID-19 made this situation more worst. In the sense, like, I have seen many young guns, those who are just running for certifications. And they are running before certifications to the extent that I have seen many young guns, those who writing to me on the WhatsApp and saying that they got 5 certifications, 7 certifications, and the count keep growing. And I always surprised to know you got so much certification, but where is the knowledge? I strongly believe that we are living in a world of fake knowledge when these certification, degrees and all, rather than providing us the knowledge, they are providing a concept called mugging. We mug a lot of things. We just eat things, but it never comes to the body. That's the biggest problem. During my tenure as a corporate treasurer, I did multiple trainings, and in one of the training programs conducted, I encountered arbitration. In fact, International Commercial Arbitration, which is shortly known as ICA. And after we started our life in Singapore, I, on a very often basis, interacted with many arbitration cases, and the recent arbitration case which I analyzed, which is of Amazon versus Reliance. Although I will not give my judgment because my judgment is little different in this arbitration case. And most important thing is that the quantum of the data which is provided in the public domain is really less to give the judgment, but I have made something on the arbitration case of Amazon and Reliance. If the time permit, I will definitely share this. Arbitration is really very important, and I feel that all the financial contracts which we are signing, whether you are a big gun like Amazon or you are a small player, you should have an arbitration related clause in your contract. But unfortunately, many people do not understand the arbitration, neither they understand the importance of arbitration. Now, let me tell you a very important case. Like, there are many import and export companies we have in India. Many. You have TCS, Infosys, Wipro, Reliance, Amazon, Flipkart, and many companies. Like, I even do not know how many companies you have. Those who are doing a very small import to huge import like Reliance, small export to huge exports like big companies. And all these companies sign numerous agreements with their vendors. And in many agreements, the financial instruments are involved. Example, in some cases, bank guarantees are involved. Some cases, standby letter of credit is involved. Some cases, direct pay letter of credit, DPLC is involved. In some cases, SBG, standby bank guarantee, is involved, and different situations, right? First of all, the basic problem we have in India is that majority of the people even do not understand the importance of trade instruments. Rather, every day I get so many calls wherein people are writing to our PPP desk and claiming that they have 10 billion, 20 billion, 30 billion. Do you even know how many zeros we have in 10 billion? That's one important thing, with due respect. These trade finance instruments, when we interact, so let me give you a very simple example, and which often happens in case of public sector concerns in India, and not India, many public sector concerns worldwide. Public sector concerns are binded by the government to invite the L1 bid, the lowest bid. So example, I got some tender. And what is this tender? It is about making a building for a gas company. Okay. This tender is saying this clauses, and I think I am applicable to it. I bid for this tender. But my first hand computation, now there are two kind of computations which we have in arbitration. One is the first hand computation and another is the deliberate computation. So let me tell you a bit difference. The first hand computation is, is kind of a bird eye view. Okay, how much does it cost? 20 rupees. Practical cost may be 22, 23, 24, 25, maybe 18, maybe 16, maybe 17, maybe 15, maybe lesser. But bird eye view, around 20. One is the deliberate computation, in which you do the deliberate computation like, okay, this is my labor cost, this is my rain clause, this is if any tax issue will happen, this is this, okay, X, Y, Z and all. Okay, the final cost is around 28, including my profit margin. In case of public sector concerns across the globe, there is a biggest problem that due to the L1 kind of mentality, many cheap vendors come in the system and they get a loophole. And guys, do you know what is this loophole? Simple loophole. This loophole is that they read your agreement, but in this agreement, the arbitration clause is either completely missed or it is to an extent present, which means formality. I'll tell you that I went through one of the agreements signed by one of the public sector concerns, and I was highly surprised to know that the arbitration clause was this, only 3 lines. Only 3 lines were presented in the form of arbitration clause. Rather, you would be surprised to know that if you ever seen the arbitration clause, then arbitration agreements, then arbitration agreements are full 10-pager, 12-pager agreements. If that, everything is presented. Anyways, this public sector concerns, once we pointed out and said that you have a very small or formality arbitration agreement, they said that we never encountered any arbitration agreement and they knew that they will not going to get encountered. So in case of how exactly it works, that in the case of L1 bidding, the vendor always feels that there is a complete miss which is there as far as the arbitration agreement is concerned. Now what they do, they suppose my estimated cost is 28. I will bid 25. I know I'm in loss, but I'm going to be bidding 25. Now what happened? I get L1. Definitely I get the contract. I will deliver the contract for 2 months and then I run away. Abscond. And then this company will file a case that this person took the work, he not delivered the work and something like that. And what happens that I will say, let's appoint an arbitrator. So because before absconding, I will create a very important issue in the contract management, and that is the cost overrun. I have seen many contracts in my life whereby the cost overrun clause was almost ignored. Very recently, in one of the judgments in India, The party won because of the cost overrun, but I read this judgment very carefully and it was well delivered, to be honest. Now, guys, what happened? Considering cost overrun as an example, this party abscond. Then they enter into arbitration. But arbitration clauses, formality, only 3 lines. And once you signed without arbitration, you cannot arbitrate. And I'm not going to explaining in detail what is cost overrun, how exactly it happens, and so on and so forth. So practically, guys, arbitration is very essential part in financial instruments. Arbitration is essential part in all the contracts which you are signing. It is an essential part in a cross-border trade like Amazon bought Future or Walmart bought Flipkart, and many companies in India, they are buying different companies across the globe. In fact, arbitration, I'm very sorry, but if you read the ISTA agreements, ISTA, and they have a master service agreements. In fact, ISTA having many agreements now. I'm very sorry to say, but the arbitration in ISTA agreement is also not very detailed. And I have stated this many times to ISTA in Singapore, but somehow they are, you know. So we need to understand the importance of arbitration very clearly. History is a witness that in case of arbitration, a person who is ignorant is bound to lose. History is a witness. I'm not a witness. So have importance to arbitration, and especially when the trade finance instruments are concerned. Example, bank guarantee and all. Our arbitration desk is open now, and now you see most often videos about arbitration. Every country in the world is having an arbitration act, like India is having an arbitration and reconciliation act, Singapore having arbitration, different countries are having different arbitration acts. Some are good, some are bad, some are okay. But there are many countries of the globe, those who are treated as an arbitration center, like Singapore, like US, few countries in Europe. We need to have a holistic understanding of an arbitrator. Anyone can be a lawyer. Very less lawyers in the world are perfect criminal lawyers. Very less lawyers in the world end up as a perfect corporate lawyer. And very less perfect corporate lawyers end up as a perfect arbitrator. Because there is a difference. No one expecting any lawyer to be functionally competent. No one expects any lawyer to understand SPLC, DPLC, but they should be. But an arbitrator is a person who needs to understand these things exceptionally well. So one of the basic traits means the quality. One of the basic traits of an arbitrator is to understand or functionally very correct. And unfortunately, I have seen that arbitration is still the same. There are institutes, you join these institutes, you get pass an exam, you get certification, and this certification allows you to do anything. Actually, we are living in a world of certifications. You just work hard, get a certificate, and talent is zero. This is how the arbitration work also works. This is Rahul from Treasury Consulting, but Treasury Consulting is promising you that we now would be covering arbitration in extremely detail. And I have did my whatever limited data in the public domain detailing about Amazon versus Reliance case, and few judgments about arbitration in India and few judgments about arbitration in Singapore. But I felt that in few issues, the functionally competent stuff was missed. Sorry for that. This is Rahul from Treasury Consulting. You know our WhatsApp 9818485155. Have a great time. Talk soon. Thank you.